Well, we're just a few games into season 10 and we have come back for another episode because once again, just like last season, we are taking on Premier League opposition in the Carabao Cup. We're up against Watford, who are bottom of the Premier League. Is there an upset in the making here? Let's find out. Welcome back to Dog Turds into Diamonds. Yes, here we are in Series 10, season 10, not Series 10. Here with AFC Rushden and Diamonds. Yeah, don't even bother editing that out. Yeah, we are back because we are once again taking on Premier League opposition. It's a big day for the club. Obviously, we are massive underdogs to progress, but Watford are bottom of the Premier League, so I don't know, does just poor form count for something? They've lost their opening 2 games, they've got a -8 goal difference. If that counts for something, how has their pre-season gone? Let's have a look. I mean, they had a decent pre-season, didn't they? But yeah, 4-0 they've lost and 6-2 against Arsenal and Chelsea. So they've had a tough start, haven't they? They've then got Tottenham, Manchester United, Newcastle, who are now a powerhouse in this save. They've had a pretty nasty start to the season. Let's be fair. So maybe we can't read too much into that. I think they're going to be a really good team. They did sell a player to Barcelona in pre-season for £72 million. But I did look at some of their starting players, and you know what? They're not bad. Jamie Bino Gittins, from what we can see here, looks like a decent forward player, doesn't he? A decent forward player, decent winger, definite Premier League quality. Alberto Cometa, a 23-year-old Colombian. He looks a really good striker as well. I think these are going to be a very tough job. Jacob Moda, 31-year-old Pole, again, looks very good. Yeah, I think even playing at home, even against a team that has lost their first 2 games of the season, we are really going to be toughing it out in this one. Ismail Assar, still really good at 32. Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt they're the big favourites here. Donny van der Beek at 33 is their playmaker. Again, from what we can see here, looks very good. And Iptas Fung, yeah, guy, I definitely didn't say his middle name right there, did I? Iptas Fung? Who knows? Yeah, maybe he's not the best in the world, but yeah, they have a Premier League quality squad, absolutely no doubt about it. Will they rest any players for this game? That's another question. As for ourselves, yeah, our season has started all right. Obviously, first episode of this season, we lost 2-0 away at Tranmere. Pretty rotten performance. But since then, we've won 3 in a row. We beat Oxford away in the Carabao Cup. Now, I'm going to say, before I start clicking on these results, we've won these 3 games, but to be honest, it could have gone the other way in each one. We probably haven't looked the better team in any of these games. You can see here, Oxford United, a bit of a local derby, this one. They completely dominated us, if we're being honest. We did have 59% possession, but we did very little with it. They had more shots than us, more shots on target. It was pretty poor. It was pretty tough to watch. We were up against it throughout the game. I think the first half, we actually, they didn't look that much better than us. We kind of competed in the first half and we had a much better XG. It was an Ethan Varian penalty. He won the penalty himself. But then the second half, Oxford United really did dominate it. We really had to dig in. We did have a few injuries which have affected our centre-back positions. So Okadina, the new signing, and Hordegaard were playing at the back together here. Danielson had a terrible game on the left wing, but we came out of it with the win against the League Two side. and we were obviously into the second round, which we are playing today. We then had a home game against Colchester. We won 3-2, and I'm going to play the goals here because we're only 4 games in, and I think Chinedo has scored the goal of the season. It is the best goal I have seen on Football Manager 2022 this year, and well, I'm going to show it to you now. I just can't see any way it gets beaten as goal of the season unless there's something very, very special comes up. But you can see here we had a little bit less possession, a few shots less, a poorer XG, but we did come out with the win against Colchester, who of course were the runaway League One champions last season. And that was largely due to a great start. Chinedo, after just 5 minutes, crossing over the corner for Hordegaard to head in. And just a few minutes later, a Jones cross met by Ethan Varian, who is adapting very well to life in League One. They then got back into it at the end of the first half. They were probably the better team in the second half, but it was here that Chinedo scores an absolutely incredible volley. Absolutely amazing. They then got it back to 3-2 with 17 to go, but we held on and got the win. Now, considering how Colchester dominated League Two last season, I think that is a very, very good win. And interestingly, Colchester had in their starting lineup a certain Shay Marsh, who we allowed to leave at the end of his contract last season. He's now starting games in League One for Colchester. So I wasn't expecting that. I feel like he's probably got League One potential, but he's probably a League Two player right now. He did play well for us last season. Only got 8 games in the league, but had a 7.04 rating. Played 11 games overall in all competitions. He had a decent season, probably deserved more game time. But yeah, he's now a Colchester player. So nice to see Shay Marsh. Shay Marsh and his awesome mohawk. So yeah, I was pleased with this. That Chinedo goal was absolutely incredible. Danielson still struggling on the left wing, still struggling to adapt to that new position. And we then went away to Portsmouth, who have been relegated from the Championship, one of the favourites to go up. And we pulled out another sensational victory. And as you can see, we had a better XG, but Portsmouth had far more shots than us, and they had more possession. And yeah, in the end, it was another Ethan Varian penalty right at the end of the game. House in this one got his first goal for the club. Danielson didn't play badly on the left wing, got an assist for House. I think Ben House is going to be a really great player in the long term. He's now off the mark. He did actually miss an open goal against Colchester. It was the strangest thing I've ever seen in Football Manager. He missed an open goal after rounding the goalkeeper when he was put through, and it hit the post and went wide. And Football Manager then gave us a replay of the supposed goal. Football Manager was so certain that it was a goal that it gave us a replay of Ben House hitting the post from about 10 yards out with an open goal. So yeah, that was a strange one, but I think with that brilliant strength that he has, the bravery, the decent technical ability, I think Ben House is really going to work out long term. I'm going to give him the opportunities he needs to grow and get into the side. And this game was great here. We started with Mackenzie at centre-back, and that was because Callum Simpson has been injured. He came back in this one I bought him on at half time, and also Jordan Rossiter was injured. He came back for this one. So it was nice to start getting back to something like full strength. But yeah, another victory that perhaps we didn't deserve, but I was really pleased to get. And yeah, that means we've had a nice little start to the season. We're in mid-table with 2 wins out of 3. I have to say, we talked about it in the summer transfer special. I didn't manage to get that next level player in. Our loan offer for the Middlesbrough striker was rejected by the player. We just can't get those next level players that could really make a difference for us in this league. We just can't get them to come to us with our low reputation and poor training facilities. I think we will need to establish ourselves in League One to be able to start attracting those players. So I think this season I'm kind of adjusting my expectations. I think this season is just about surviving, getting ourselves established in the league, and then kicking on from there, much like we did in League Two. So I'm kind of taking the pressure off us a little bit this season. Yeah, I'm kind of not getting carried away. I would love to do back-to-back promotions and get into the Championship this season, but I just don't think it is going to be possible. In terms of transfers, there's a couple that I'm looking at. Ellis Chapman, he is a left back. You can see here, from what we can see of him, he is definitely of the quality needed for our team. He was released at the end of the season by Tranmere, or perhaps didn't agree a contract. Played 43 games in League One last season. He's a left back, but he can also play as an attacking winger, which I think is where I would play him on that left-hand side if we can sign him. But he does want a lot of money. If we offer him a contract, he wants to be a star player. I'm not going to promise to improve the coaching team. Oh my goodness, I've just agreed to sign attackers, which, yeah, I actually don't want to do that. He wants 2,900 a week. Now, I can't offer him anything right now, and that is because I offered a contract to Harry Leonard, who was on my shortlist. Now, I only offered him a contract because another team came in for him. Yeah, he has been on my shortlist for a while, and I only offered him a contract because another team was in, and I didn't want to lose him. So I started scouting him again to try and find out exactly how good he is right now, because, I mean, in theory, he could be a decent, solid technical player here, or at the same time, he could be a little bit below average. Mentally and physically looks really, really good. But yeah, he agreed the contract with us. He's been released by Rotherham, spent last season on loan at Oldham in League One. So he did accept our contract, which was good to stop him going to one of these other clubs. He's got a few League Two teams interested in him. I think it was Doncaster that were in for him. So he accepted to come to us, but I then cancelled the transfer just until the scouting report comes through. I can really see enough about him. So after today, I should be able to offer Ellis Chapman a contract. If I can get him in, I think from what we see here, he would definitely be a top League One level winger or left back. So I think hopefully I can break the bank and get him in. Now, in terms of budgets, we are a couple of thousand below our wage budget right now. This committed spending will come down when that transfer cancellation goes through. So I can afford to get Ellis Chapman in, and with 186,000 in the transfer budget, I can easily move that some of that over to wages, just so that's not an issue as well. I don't think I'm going to spend any of this money because I just haven't been able to find anybody available on the transfer who's really of the quality we would want. So that's where we are right now with everything. Obviously, it's only been a few games since we were last here, but that's the situation. That the transfer window is closing within the week. So if I want to get Ellis Chapman in, I've got to do it soon. This is the team that is going to play today against Watford, and we've got another game, I think, in 3 days' time. Hartlepool in the league, so we've got a few players who are starting to get a bit tired, who are probably not going to be able to walk out against Hartlepool. But for this game, we're going Tommy Reed in goal, Igor Louise and Dylan Jones in the fullback positions, Okadina and Simpson at fullback. Okadina coming in late in the window, right at the start of the season, came in on a free transfer, has played a few games now, has played really, really well. And it looks like a really good decision to have signed him, because we had a bit of a crisis at centre-back. Callum Simpson was injured. You can see he's started one game and came off the bench in the last game. I need him to start today. And in terms of other centre-backs, Hordegaard was also injured. He is now a little bit short of match fitness, but he's in on the bench for today. Again, I mean, he started the first 2 games of the season, scored a goal, has looked really good. I'm thinking I'm going to offer him out before the end of the transfer window as well. He doesn't want to sign a new contract now because we've messed him around a bit. But we'll see what happens with Hordegaard. In midfield, we've got Jordan Rossiter starting again, just back from injury. Probably not going to last the whole game. Recommended 75 minutes. Moreno as the box-to-box midfielder. Then in midfield, we've got Varian and Danielson on the wings. Danielson has had a really poor start to life at AFC Rushden and Diamonds, not really adapting to this inside forward on the left position, but I'm going to bear with it. I think he's got great potential. And do I start Chinedu? Chinedu played really poorly the last game, a 6.3. And with this being such a tough game, I'm thinking what I do here is actually move out Chinedu, and I'm going to start Eddie Little, who is my deep line playmaker option. So I'm going to put Eddie Little in. I think he's got great potential as well. I'm going to put him in as the deep line midfielder, and then up front it's Ben House. So that's the starting lineup. On the bench, Mackenzie, Hordegaard, Malicio, Chinedu, Joe Evans, who was also injured, just back from injury himself. The same with Jack Nolan. We had a real injury crisis. Hopefully now that is over. Robinson still injured. He is out for another 3 weeks. The 35-year-old just hasn't been able to get going since he signed for us. Hopefully he can come back to fill out the squad. Sharif doesn't make the squad. And Jake O'Brien, our first choice centre-back. Again, he's played just 1 game before getting injured. And he is still out for a couple of months, which is really disappointing. So lots of opportunities for our centre-backs. Agyapong doesn't make the squad, nor does Dowling, nor Drakes. Expect Drakes to start the next game against Hartlepool. I have also dropped Gavin Schofield. Had a really poor start to the season. That first game played a 6.4. Hasn't been great either in pre-season. So right now he is out of the squad. I'm going to give priority to the people like Eddie Little, who are actually our players rather than a low knee. So I'm sure Gavin Schofield, as the season goes on, will get games as part of the squad. But this is the team that takes on the Premier League side today. So if it wants to get into it, oh my goodness, that's a bit slow, isn't it? There you go. Not quite slow enough that I need to edit out, I don't think. I think we're all right there. So, all right, I'm going to go with this. We've got nothing to lose here. Let's show how good we are. There you go. Everyone knows what we're capable of. So the players pretty well motivated. Obviously, something to enjoy taking on a Premier League side. I'm just going to move Eddie Little back into midfield here, and I'm going to make him a deep line playmaker. And I'm just going to ask my wingers to track their fullbacks, just so that when we're attacked, we've got the maximum number of players back. And hopefully, with me playing with a defensive midfielder against their 4-4-2, hopefully this is going to work out pretty well. I am going to just set our central defenders to mark tightly on their strikers, try and control them as best we can. Obviously there is no pressure at all on us here. We are not expected to advance from this game, but let's see if we can maybe produce a little bit of an upset. So there you go, because it's on TV, we've got a little bit of a press conference before the game. There you go, we were impressive last time out. Yeah, there you go, it's given everyone a real lift. Do you hope your team can produce today? I don't see why we're not capable of turning up and playing well here. The first goal is crucial, right? Yeah, scoring first matters to us, yeah. All right, there you go. That was an abysmal press conference, but there you go. So let's see how we get on against this Premier League team. A full house at our new stadium. This should be worth probably around about 250,000 to the club. So really important to get these big cup games against the bigger sides. We get a bit of TV money today and a full house at the stadium, which is fantastic. And a nice boring start, which I like. We've had the first couple of shots at goal, which is great. What I didn't want was to just be under the cosh immediately and really struggling. But we are competing pretty well here. They've had 60% of the possession, but they haven't had a shot at goal yet. And the first highlight starts with us in possession, but it's immediately given away by Igor Luiz, which is not much fun to see. And now the Premier League quality can get on the ball and perhaps start to hurt us. Right now we've got decent shape there, not letting them through. But obviously the highlight has got to go somewhere, otherwise it wouldn't be a highlight. And there's that ball over the top. And it's blocked out by Luiz for a corner there. Do I need to play with a deeper defensive line just to counteract those breaks with the balls over the top? We do play a high line. I guess I'm going to see how it goes for a little while, but they have now had as many shots as we have. And they've now got a free kick, and that was close. But we are keeping it at 0-0 right now. Again, a couple of highlights in their favour. We haven't really done much damage. What do I change? I mean, we've actually done alright. We've had 4 shots to their 5. I feel like maybe, unless this goes in, I feel like I should be brave and kind of stick with it. And again, that attack comes to nothing. Igor Luiz cutting it out. And we do now get hold of the ball in midfield, just taking advantage of that extra man. And House, he should have scored that. The corner of the goal was completely open. And that has to go down as a terrible miss for Ben House. And that's probably the best chance of the game. And they now get a highlight to finish the first half. Please don't send us in behind after that miss, Football Manager. And we are going to go in behind. Oh my goodness. Football Manager, you are such a harsh mistress. Oh, go away, Football Manager. Go away, leave me alone. Oh, don't you just hate it? 47th minute, and we give away a penalty. Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, we've done ourselves proud so far. Oh, come on, boys. Let's see if we can come up with a little bit of an upset in the second half. What can we do here? Eddie Little is very nervous. The young 18-year-old. Maybe it was a bit much for him throwing him into a game like this. The forwards have been really, really poor. I'm going to go to pass into space. And you can see I'm playing a bit more direct than we were at the start of the season. I'm going to leave that as it is. I'm just going to look to shoot on sight. And I don't know, what can I do? I think I might distribute to the playmaker and just try and take advantage of the extra man that we've got in midfield. And I'm going to ask the players to get stuck in. So that's all the changes I'm going to do for now. And we're going to see if with home advantage we can get something out of this second half. But Donny van der Beek goes very close with the first highlight of the half with that long range free kick. Good save from Tommy Reed. And it is not yet away, but it is now by Jones. And we've maybe been a little bit lucky there. Let's demand more from the team. And the player's not really reacting very well to that. I'm now going to go attacking. And I am also going to let the players be more expressive. And I'm going to try and just really start pressing more. Can we really try and change something here? Forward line has been really poor. I think it's time for changes. Again, we can't criticise them too much because, I mean, they've been up against some very, very good players here, haven't they? I'm going to bring off Callum Simpson. Just thinking about the fact that he should only be doing 75 minutes. And we've got another game in 3 days. Henrik Hordegaard comes in. But now I am going to make changes to the forward line. I'm going to ask Jack Nolan to play on the left wing. And I'm also going to change out our top scorer Ethan Varian for Joe Evans, coming back from injury. I'm going to make him an advanced playmaker on support. Just see if we can get someone with a bit of passing ability on the ball further up the field. And just see if the boys can dig something out here to at least take it to penalties. Going to demand more again. And we've got a highlight here. Can we keep possession and build something? We really haven't managed to create much at all in this game. And we've lost it again. But we do win it back. The highlight is still not over. And Jones with that booking. I think he's out for the next game. And now Jordan Rossiter gets away with it. That's really, really poor, getting caught on the ball there. Another highlight, but it's in our half. We've really struggled to get out in this game. Just the quality of the opposition has just really told in terms of just stifling us when we've had the ball. Now, what can we do here? A long ball out. Can we win it back here? We can't. It's an absolute nightmare from Okadina. And Reed makes another really good save. And I'm just going to play with a lot of width. I'm going to play more direct. And I'm going to ask them to hit early crosses with Ben House being up top. I mean, he's such a good target man that maybe getting some early crosses in towards him is the way to go. They now have a highlight close to our goal though. And we have barely created a chance, but Evans gets it out. House couldn't get hold of it. And Glad has another opportunity there. And we are, I think, not going to get anything out of this. But we do now have a throw. Is there something in this? A long throw into the box. Nolan puts it over. And Owen Nolan, who's someone who I think can be very important for us as the season goes on, has had maybe our best chance of the game after Ben House. Again, I guess you have to say, I mean, we haven't disgraced ourselves against Premier League opposition. A penalty was the only difference in the game in the end. We just weren't good enough with the ball, were we? Yeah, go on. We were underdogs. You gave it your best. Yeah, the players are pleased with that. Important to keep that spirit up and start concentrating on the bigger fish, which is obviously going well in League One and hopefully having a bit of an FA Cup run this season as well. So, guess I can't criticise them too much. Hopefully, with a couple of days rest, we can perform well against Hartlepool and carry on our strong start to the season. Maybe really start to build something. I guess if we can have a good showing in the first half of the season, maybe getting some of those next level loanees in January might be a possibility. So, how much did we get for that then? So, yeah, we were defeated. Nolan makes his debut coming off the bench there. It doesn't actually mention anything about the finances. but it has pushed us up there to almost 1 million. We had 162,000 in gate receipts. Well, that is for this month, so a little bit less than that from the Watford game, obviously, but we do then get, I think, about 30,000 in TV money. So, I mean, it's worked out for us in terms of getting the bank balance up a little bit. So, yeah, there you go. An expected defeat, but not humiliated, which is obviously pleasing. We can keep morale up and keep the players thinking positively as we go into the league games. So in terms of the schedule, unless we get a really good FA Cup draw or something like that, I am not expecting to come back until January. Obviously, I'm doing these now. Well, really, with the fact that barely anyone watches the video, I'm just doing this for my own amusement, really. So I'll come back in January just as like a mid-season update now that I go through the season a lot quicker rather than doing daily videos. So in January, let's have a look. I mean, there's Cardiff away. I guess that would be the biggest game there. Cardiff away. I think we'll probably come back for that one, and we'll have a look at everything that's going on, see if we've had a decent run in the league, see if we are set for a strong second half of the season, see if we've got a chance of getting those next level signings in. So that'll do for today. I think it was a decent game to see where we are as a team. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we didn't do badly against much stronger opposition. Hopefully, we can continue the good form through the rest of the season. So I will see you guys again probably in January. If you have liked it, as I've always said, if by some miracle we do start to garner a bit of an audience, I will more than happily go back to the daily videos, but I would like to see, I don't know if you can hear that as well, I think my neighbour has just flushed the toilet, and yeah, I'm getting the sound of his bathroom from above me. Yeah, if you're enjoying hearing the sounds of my neighbour's bathroom, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time to see exactly what is going on with my neighbour's bowel movements. See you very soon.